Namaste. Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk to you about silence, about the power of silence. So, I'm going to start this discussion with a moment of silence. There you go. So, now we have a silence in place. It was always there, we just became aware of it. That's all. Now, you hear my words, you hear sounds, and in the background, if you really focus your attention at what's happening in the background, you'll see that there's always an absolute silence. That is, even if I never stopped talking, in the background, there would always be that silence. Right. The mind, which is like a playful little puppy chasing after every single ball, starts to focus on the sounds being made, the words being spoken, the understanding of those words, the intellectualizing of those words, the stories connected to those words, and the complex emotions that arise through those specific words. The mind forgets the silence that is behind every word. When you focus your attention on the silence, you'll see that all sounds, they emerge slowly from the silence and eventually fade back to silence. So it really doesn't make any difference at all whether it's music belonging to one specific genre or a completely different style, or poetic lyrics that speak about the complexities of love, or any other subject matter you can possibly imagine. In the background, there's a steady presence that remains perfectly motionless, that's constant, and that's completely still. It is always here and now. Even when there's a constant mental distraction while you are focusing on the words and their meanings, there's that silence in the background, always present. So we have these ethereal sounds drifting through the vastness of space, and then we have the space itself, passing through the space where the sounds slowly drift away and are eventually born into existence and die, appear, disappear. Can you speak while focusing on the inner silence that is always present within you? An interesting exercise I did when I was in Las Vegas was to go meditate on busy streets with all kinds of energy moving around, all kinds of sounds, that ambient noise of the city. Some might say it's not the most ideal or perfect place to meditate, but actually it's incredibly fascinating and unique to put yourself in a noisy and chaotic environment and observe the silence that's behind it. And to stay in that silence, to focus and to really concentrate in this ever-present silence, always here and now. That's why at one point I was meditating so much that I would go anywhere, a party, a concert, whatever, and I would meditate. It's really interesting to meditate in all kinds of circumstances where external things appear and disappear, appear, disappear, appear, disappear. Inside the silence, listen to the silence. There's a proverb that says, questions come from noise, answers come from silence. I invite you to take an inner journey, to see this for yourself, within yourself, and you'll see what profound answers come to you when you're in that peaceful silence. And notice where those answers come from. When you're in a deep silence, the answers do not emerge through the internal voice of the mind. They don't come as simple ideas, thoughts, or reflections. They come directly from a heart. I invite you to go and see for yourself whenever you feel like it. If you want to visualize the absolute silence at the bottom of the ocean, let's just say, for example, that's one possible way to visualize it. At the bottom of the ocean, nothing moves. Everything is stable, pure, silent. Then you come back up to the surface, and there, everything is in motion. There are waves, there's spray, there's foam. There are recurring cycles of absolute peaceful calm and intense periods of agitation. But every bit of this constant movement, all of these various noises and these cycles are based on a foundation of absolute silence. You can also see them as musical notes in 3 dimensions. There is a whole symphony being played. On top, with ways to adjust and find different sounds, higher or lower. High pitched, low, different frequencies. And there is always existing behind this score this blank page that is completely pure and silent and on which absolutely everything can be played. I invite you to welcome silence within yourself. Not easy for the mind, but it will allow you to observe it precisely. I wish you an excellent day. See you soon. I'm organizing well, actually, no, I'm not the one organizing it. I've been invited to a conference to talk about refocusing in the heart, about the topic of oneness, about reality, about illusion, about duality and interconnectedness. It's an upcoming conference taking place in Macon on April 27th, and I really hope to see you there in person. You can check the Stopman Songe website to find the flyer and the phone number to make your reservations. And I'm also going to organize some small, interactive live video songs. For those of you who might be interested, I haven't quite set the specific dates and times just yet, but it will happen soon on the Stopman Songe YouTube channel. I invite you to subscribe to the Stopman Songe YouTube channel and click on the little bell next to it to be notified when there are live streams coming up. I hope you have a wonderful day and take care. Namaste.